Hey everybody, welcome back. So before I start building this tire mount, I thought it would be fun to see if this thing droops, and if so, how much, and where it would be drooping at, just for my own sport and amusement, and to see what it's going to be like when it's done. Now, right now I have this arranged so that you actually have to push down on that to get that to line up. And my whole little angled tongues here are worthless because that bolt is so long. You've got to line it up on that bolt before my little bends engage. So best laid plans and all of that. But here's what I thought I'd do. I thought I'd take this straight edge, or what passes for a straight edge in my life, and put it on the bottom of here. See if I can do it. And there's like nothing. That is perfectly straight, or they're perfectly curved the same amount, which is the same thing as far as I'm concerned. And then I've got a 30-pound weight and a 10-pound weight. I've got my steel-toed shoes on too, so hopefully, even if they do fall and hit my foot, you know, I suppose I could see, can I see where that lines up at? It's a little low now. Not much, but a little. Let's see what's flexing. Can we? Can we do that? Boy, it really doesn't appear like it's that tube, does it? I don't know. With 40 pounds on the end, and this might have been 1/8 of an inch high before, and now it looks like it might be 1/8 of an inch low. So at most that drooped 1/4 of an inch. I'm not sure that's something I need to worry about. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See right here, I made these pieces. I put this little dip. If you didn't see the last video, I made this kind of U-shaped piece, and then I bent the ends to guide the bar in, but I didn't think it through very well because that stud hits before, so I would have to extend these out another 1.5 inches or so in order to make them engage before that stud goes in. I fixed this. It was bothering me too much. And it wasn't so much that it didn't do what I wanted it to do. It was just going to stare me in the face and say, design fail, every time I looked at it. So sorry for that noise. I extended these out, made them 1.25 inches longer, and now it guides it into that pin the way I would want it to. A couple of points before I begin here. I want to build this structure today for this. I may not get the tire mounted on it because I don't have the bolts, but I do want to get the structure done. I have all the pieces I need, I believe, other than the mounting bolts for the wheel. But a couple of points here first. First, this here, once I lengthened that, I realized I didn't even need the stud in there. I could have just put something through here, a pin through here, which probably would have been easier to get on and off. But then I realized, well, if I put the pin through here, if I didn't have the stud in there, I wouldn't need these that long. And I thought, well, if I didn't need these that, and I kept going around and around in circles. So I'm sure you've all thought of it, but I'm going to leave it like that for now because I'm happy with it. It does what I want it to do. Now, this piece that comes in here, I've decided that I'm just going to make it like that, a rectangle. And then I'm going to triangulate it down with other pieces. And I want to make it high enough for a 33-inch tire. Only got 31s on it now. But just in case at any point I put 33s on it, I want it to be able to handle a 33. And right now, the tire that came off of it, if you watch the bumper build video, and I'll put a link in the cards above, but if you watch the bumper build video, the tire that's on it, this LR7815, it just barely cleared this. Now, this old carrier holds the center of the wheel about 3 inches down from these bolt holes, and that's just about this body seam, this body crease right here above where it says Jeep. So and that old tire is 30 inches, or it's a little under, but it's, for all practical purposes, it's 30 inches. So if I measure up from this that it barely cleared to that body seam, I have almost exactly 15 inches. So that makes sense. So I want to come, this handle projects into the plane of where I'm going to be. So I either need my cross piece to be below it or above it. So if I measure up from here to where my 15 is, I can go all the way up to 22 before I interfere with this handle. And the handle doesn't even need to turn because you're not going to open that back with the tire carrier closed anyway. So I could make these 22, and that would give me more than what I need and a little extra. So I think that's what I'm going to do. If I get it tacked on there and I think it's too long, I can always bust it off and shorten it. But that's where I'm going now. And the width, I'm going to make the width the same as this. This is 5 3/4. I'm going to make it 6 just because I can. And that's what I'm going to do. So there is my first upright piece. It's just tacked, and it's not even tacked onto the bar. It's just sitting there. And remember that this has to be boxed out this way enough to give the tire clearance, because the wheel would bolt to it. So you look at the original one, they did it in sheet metal. You know, I'm not even sure that's 1/8 inch. And then they put this piece down here for the bottom of the tire to rest against, and it's adjustable, and I'll probably replicate that. This up here, I think they came out about 5 or 6 inches. I think I'm going to do the same, but I think I'm just going to do that with stubs of the square tube, weld it, and then put the plate on it that has the studs on it. And I'm also going to put pieces down here to triangulate that. And I think that's then going to be it. I don't see anything else really I'm going to need to do until I put it on something on and it doesn't work. And then I'll adjust from there, I guess. Okay, so as you can see from my shadow, it's getting pretty on late in the day. Here is the part that I made. I had to run out for a while. Here's the part that I made, and it's going to go like that. And as you can see, there's more than enough clearance, I think, for everything. So I just want to tack this on, and just kind of, so I can step back and look at it, not tack it onto the wheel, obviously, tack it onto the swing arm, and just kind of get a feel for it. I got the welder out here. I got to knock off really quick because I got a client going to call me in about half hour. So let's get that tacked on and get a quick look at it. So there we are. We're tacked on fairly solidly too, because I thought it might be fun to kind of set the tire in it and see what happens. Now remember, I am going to add more stiffeners on it to triangulate it, so it seems a little bit wobbly now, but I think it's going to get a lot better, especially once it's welded entirely. Let's set the tire on it and see what it looks like. See if the whole thing falls apart. Sorry for wobbling the camera around. I'm just trying to get the tripod end of it out. We'll just kind of see if I can set the camera here like that. What do you think? I kind of like it. It's considerably higher. I'd say it's a good 4 or 5 inches higher than it was on the old setup. And I'm pretty happy with it, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. I'm not going to swing it out right now because I don't want to take a chance of busting all the tacks and having it all fall apart. But I think that's pretty good. I think there's lots of room in here if somebody puts a bigger tire on it, and lots of room down there if somebody puts a bigger tire on it. So I think I'm going with that. Okay, it is another nice morning in Arizona, and I'd like to knock the rest of this out today. I'm not sure I'm going to get it all welded and painted today, but I'd like to get the pieces on today. So what I've got is I've got some more of this tube, and I'm gonna make some pieces, you know, that fit like that. And I think I'm just gonna put a 45 on each side of it, and where it falls, it falls. And once I get one I like, I'm gonna make an identical one for the other side. And then I've got to make a piece down here that comes out with a rubber bumper for the tire, and that bumper needs to be adjustable. Anyway, I'm gonna get these pieces cut and tacked on first, and then I'll worry about that. So there it is. I think I'm done. Well, except for welding and painting. I put the stop here, and for those of you who love continuity between old stuff and new stuff, this is actually the piece from the old one, the threaded nut with that little threaded stud and the nut and that little bumper that goes on there. I welded a nut on the back of that little plate. This supports the back of the tire, so the tire can't do one of those. I've got a stop here. I won't tell you I'm unhappy with it, but does the job. I think that's it except welding. Can't think of anything else. Let's put the tire in. Remember, it's just tacked, so there might be a little flexure in it that won't be there once it's welded. And I think during welding I am going to put some stiffener plates in areas, you know, mainly where the flex is going to be like this. So here and here and there, I may put some stiffener plates just to make it a wee bit more solid. Don't know if it's necessary, but I got the material, so why not? And it might look cool, might give it a industrial-like appearance, but I am not going to weld it till I get better welding wire, and it's on the way from Amazon. So let's put the tire and wheel on it, and let's see what it looks like. So I really like the height that it holds it at. I'm very, very pleased with that. Like the way it looks. I think I could have made it in a little bit tighter to the vehicle, but then again, bigger tires are going to cause an issue there. So I think I'm better off with that. Let's see how much it droops when I pull it out. You ready? And remember, it is still just tacked. Not too unhappy with that at all. Not unhappy with that at all. Very, very nice, I think. Let's swing it all the way out. So there's my stop point right there. May have to put a little chain or hook on it, something to hold it open if I ever want it to stay open. Because the other one swung shut like that too. Of course, this one's on bearings and the other one wasn't, so this one is going to move a lot easier than the other one did. Look at that, huh? I'm not even going to let it swing hard. Oh, well, let's do it once. And remember, it's still, I keep reminding everyone, it's just tacked. I really don't want it falling apart on me here before I can weld it and get stiffeners on it. So I'm pretty happy with that. I can't think of anything that I really did horribly wrong. So next time you see this, it'll be welded and painted. So here it is. I think it's all done. As you can see, I gusseted all these spots here, front and back, where the tubes join, just because this is a bit thinner tube than I really wanted originally to do. So I thought, you know, I thought it was fine, but I figured I'd go ahead and throw the gussets on because I bought 20 feet of that flat bar. Gusseted it here, and here on this side of it. I put straps across the front just to make sure that downward pressure this way doesn't break anything. And I put some big heavy gussets on the bottom also to support the weight of that. And of course, the bumper for the tire is there as well. So I'm pretty happy with it. Let's throw it on and see how it works. Okay, so here it is all on and mounted. I really like it, except I've got one minor issue, which I honestly don't really know is an issue. Let me demonstrate. So when we shut it, closes nice, but then I get this level of springiness here, and I guess I should have anticipated that. I don't know that that's an issue or not. The old one had a means to cure that, and that was it had some rubber bumpers down here that pressed up against there. You can see the marks in the paint where it did. I could do the same thing, except I could do it up top here and have them press there. But I don't really know if that's really going to be an issue. It's kind of going to be the nature of the beast with only being supported at 2 points. But like I say, a rubber bumper that went in there would fix that, and I could put, you know, like a little piece of plate on there to absorb the blow. I don't know. May leave it like it is for now. Certainly going to think about it. Let's put some more weight on it, since I am going to put a bigger tire on it. Let's put this weight on it. There's 30 pounds. I don't want to break my window. Maybe I'll just stick with the 30 pounds. That's 30 pounds of weight. And as you can see, it glides right in and out. I don't want to take a chance of that breaking my window. So I would assume a bigger tire is not going to weigh more than 30 pounds more than that. So I'm not having an issue with that. As you can see, it glides right in. It's without a problem. So I'm assuming the strength is fine. It's just that bouncy business that I'm not liking too much. Let's go ahead and put the nut washer and the nut down here, and let's see if that cures it to any degree. Might. I really don't think it's going to fix it, because I think this whole thing down here is going to just bounce along with it. And no, I still haven't gotten a stinking wing nut. Keep meaning to. I just never think of it when I'm out at the store. All right. So, did that change anything? Yeah, a little, but not a lot. I think the answer is going to be a rubber bumper in here, because that's what Jeep did on the old one. They just put that rubber bumper that pressed against the tailgate. So, good enough for Jeep, good enough for me. Anyway, I think that's it. I am going to, I think we're going to have rain here in the next day or two. So, I'm going to get my stuff cleaned up and rainproofed, and we'll move on to something new. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you soon.